Thank you for letting me be a part of your time here today and for whenever you're watching. And I just had something really awesome I wanted to share that was touching my heart when I was reading it this morning, and figured it would bless you as much as it blessed me. So this had to deal from 1 Peter. Peter obviously was one of the very close followers of Jesus. Right? He followed him around everywhere and learned so much from him. And we still get the blessing of getting to hear some of his words or see some of his words in writing that he was talking to for the early church. And during this, he touches something that is very impactful for our world today. He's talking about identity and what it is and what the true identity of humanity is as well. And I think it's so important because our world gets identity so confused. I think arguably the most confused topic in our world is who and what we are. Our world will put stock into identity being things like their job, their race or ethnicity, their culture, their family name, their socioeconomic status, even their gender, or quite more real and political at this time, sexual orientation. But honestly, Peter here is saying something very different as what our identity truly is. And it's both very shocking and very relieving at the same time. So if you all would join with me, I'm going to look here at 1 Peter chapter 2. I'm going to read verses 9 and 10, and we're going to see what that true, shocking, and relieving truth really is. If you come with me here now. Verse 9 of 1 Peter 2 says, "But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy." So there it is. There is our identity. Peter says it. That's what's relieving about this text, and what relieving about Peter's words is humanity has always, throughout history, searched for what and who we are, and what fulfills our very identity, and Peter lets us know. In a sense, we get the satisfaction of knowing what the answer is. There's a lot of questions in life that we don't get that privilege, but identity is not one of them. We are God's people. We are his holy nation. We are a royal priesthood, his children. The shocking, maybe upsetting to some people, news about what Peter said here is that if you reject this, if you reject the fact that you're God's child, that you're his holy nation and royal priesthood, and that ultimately you are his creation, then you truly don't have an identity. You are left to identify yourself with the very shallow descriptors of the things of this world. If you don't accept being God's creation, then the best things you have are things like your gender. I'm Isaac, but I'm not a male. I'm God's child. That's the same for all of us. Now, what's really good about this is when we have both been told our identity by God and see that that identity and purpose is something that God highly values and esteems in us, then we both get to know our purpose in life and feel encouraged to do it. It's not like our purpose is some lowly, awful status and God sees us as just purely existing to be punished by him. That wouldn't be very motivating or encouraging or uplifting at all. But the wonderful news is that we both have the answer to what our purpose is, and that the person that gave us that identity, him being God, views us so highly. So I just leave you with this thought today and encourage you with this thought today, that as a Christian, we know who and what we are. And it's royal, and it's priestly, and it's intimate with God, and it is so highly valued by the ultimate creator of the universe. So when you're going through this difficult week, this difficult day, this difficult month, this difficult life, know that God empowers you to do what he has called you to do, and thinks you can very much do it. Thank you for joining with me today.